You've also been involved in a PAIA Act request. PAIA
You've done your research
regarding Golden Grove School. Can you outline what exactly you are alleging against Golden Grove and what the WCED has done about it?
Okay, so also let me also, similar to the first issue of the court application, the PAIA application should not have really happened. I mean, it's a last resort. If the Western Cape government claims to be at the helm of a transparent democracy in the province, this should not, I should not have needed to go and do a PAIA application to try to get what I needed to get. In fact, it shouldn't have even come to me as the public rep, because this issue is coming from 2018, where the then principal of Golden Grove Primary School in Rondebosch was found actually guilty. There's a forensic investigation that the department itself did, and the SGB saw that. They basically saw the outcome and they saw the report, but the report was then withdrawn. They couldn't keep the report and have access to it afterwards. And the principal left the school, where the principal was found guilty of not following the proper tender processes for an internet server, to put in place an internet server at the school. I mean, they paid an exorbitant amount. I think close on to $1 million or something up there, the figures.
Give us the real amount. Give us the real amount. Don't buttercoat it.
I don't have the amount off my fingertips now, but I think Roscoe has got the amount. I've sent Roscoe the information. But just to say that quite an exorbitant amount of money was spent for an internet server. And the amount of collusion that took place there between service provider and the principal, the fact that there were no financial statements, and not only that, there were various other allegations around petty cash, many other things around financial impropriety. The school was going through financial problems as a result. And the principal, the principal then went into early retirement. Left the country for a bit, I think went to Australia, as is the case at times with some of these types. Went to Australia and then returned and is now at another school, at a public school. When we questioned the MEC, she said, no, that post that is in now is funded by the governing body, not funded by the department. I mean, what an answer. But
that is so
parents then of that particular governing body, and including the parents in the new governing body, have been wanting a copy of that forensic investigation so that they can firstly try to develop measures to ensure that this thing doesn't happen again, but also so that the money can be recovered. It's a lot of money. That money needs to be recovered. And the money hasn't been recovered. And the MEC admitted in a parliamentary question that I posed last year, the MEC admitted that the principal did wrong and that this happened. But they refused to release the report, saying, no, it's confidential, it will create controversy, this, that. So we've raised it then inside of the legislature, this issue. And the fact that the principal was let off the hook, still refusal to grant the report to myself and to grant the report to parents.
Yeah.
So what then happened was I was then obviously compelled to do a PAIA application. But I'm very disappointed. In fact, yes, the PAIA application was granted, but the document that was received was not the forensic report. It was basically minutes of meetings which were held with a new principal around remedial actions. That was it, just minutes, and records of people attending certain meetings. So really completely unacceptable, and we are not going to let this matter die down now. We are going to continue. We're going to make another PAIA application.
Right.
And we are going to also explore other legal means to get the document.
So then, just to get this straight, the narrative straight, there was parents and the SGB found reported irregularities or financial mismanagement of this principal for 1.3 million rand. The principal,
1.3 million.
The principal then goes overseas to Australia. He hasn't been punished or sanctioned by the Western Cape Education Department. Comes back to a different post that's funded by the SGB, and then when you issue a Promotional Access to Information Act application to get into the nitty-gritty of what went wrong, the application is granted, but the Western Cape Education Department send you some random piece of paper that has nothing to do with what you asked for. That's in a nutshell what's basically happened.
That's in a nutshell. This is actually speaks to the trampling. They're actually trampling over the constitutional values that many fought for. This is it. Basically wanting to run away from transparency. And I mean, this is their own report. So the department itself sanctioned an investigation into the principal. If they are so transparent, if they are confident that they are right in how they have approached things, then they must be open to expose what was reported.